What's going on, family? What's going on? What's going down? What's shaking? Welcome to 2023, and welcome to another edition of Nonfiction with Jonathan Soul. So, I want to talk about trends that I feel like we're going to see emerge in 2023, like in living color. The first thing is drones, okay? Drones. Now, if you've been watching my nonfiction episodes, you know that they use a lot of drones in warfare, particularly over in the special military operation with the Ukraine and Russia and everything. We're living in a time when all of these soldiers got smartphones, and a lot of, especially Ukrainians, they filming themselves. The Russians are also filming, and we see a lot of the war footage on Telegram in particular. These are some of the people that I follow. Now, drones and warfare seems far away from us, but you can see in this clip, Amazon is starting to feature, robots in their warehouses. Now, I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you order something at night, let's say on a Monday, and then Tuesday afternoon you get it. I haven't seen that before until recently. And that's because Amazon built a new warehouse not too far from where I live. So, they're able to cover especially if I order something that they already got in stock, obviously. You order, some kind of electronics, common electronics, they're going to have it. Well, that's going to displace some workers in terms of the physical labor that it takes to move product from one side of the warehouse to the other. And but on the other side, there's opportunity. So, one, if you get on this coding vibration, if you guys go, I think it's called Free Code Academy on the internet. They teach you the very basics of code, like JavaScript and things of that nature, for free. And that's the foundation for all of the scripts and all of the programming that we use on the internet. And in a lot of cases, some of this robotic stuff. So even though it seems like, oh shit, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. On the other hand, if you look at it proper, there's opportunity. Okay. So that's one. The other thing is, I guess I would call it low-key civil war. You say, why do you say low-key civil war? Everybody's talking about, oh, the whites is going to get upset and they're going to start running up into black neighborhoods and this, that, and the third. Maybe. The challenge is more and more African-American people are strapped. So if they run up in black neighborhoods, there's a chance they're going to get shot back at. And most of those people aren't brave like that. They're not willing to die for their beliefs. But if you remember back to the Civil War, the reason why that was a war is because the states was trying to succeed from the Union. So if you guys look up Greater Idaho movement, you'll see that there's actually, a lot of legislatures and so forth that's trying to get certain counties from Oregon, which is right next door, to succeed and join Ohio. Not only parts of Oregon, but also Northern California, I believe. So, if you look at the website, and I'm going to show it to you right here, they talk about certain cultural values or whatever, and things of that nature. If you click down, so you can see the map or whatever, if you click down, why should countries become a part of Idaho? American values. Oregon would continue to violate more and more American values and American freedoms, all that coded language, right? Law and order. Oregon refuses. It's all about what Oregon ain't doing, right? Obviously, they think that Idaho is better. So is that kind of thing going on? I looked up like a little movie about it, and it didn't seem as like a race as was the cultural. It just seems like they was rejecting a lot of this rainbow shit and a lot of other stuff. So that's something that I think if it catches on, if it actually happens, you know what I mean? I mean, that could be the precedent for other kinds of separation movements. All right, so that's the Civil War aspect of it. Is there going to be some shooting involved? I don't know about that. But this is how can you shoot somebody when they got legislation? Okay, speaking of seceding, I'm talking about in this number 3 will be the New World Order as defined by the BRICS countries. Now, BRICS started out as started out as BRI, which is Brazil, Russia, and India. Then Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Then Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And so what's happening is, in the face of all of the sanctions and bullshit that America is doing, the BRIC countries are starting to rally together and increase the trade amongst themselves. They're even starting to, you guys heard of the petrodollar, right? Petrodollar, in case you didn't know, is when you go to buy oil on the international market, you got to take whatever currency your country got, convert it into US dollars, and then buy the oil. Well, they're doing away with that in a lot of instances, and they're taking their currencies and converting them into rubles, Russian currency, converted them into yuan, the Chinese currency, and they're doing things of that nature. And then there was actually a report. It's pretty lengthy, but it's worth to read. That I found on Telegram. I think it's also in the Cradle. And if I can find it, I'll put it up here. And it basically said that they're working on their own reserve currency that may be based on resources instead of the US dollar and low-key the military. So what's that going to mean for us? That's going to mean that if America keeps fucking with people and keeps starting wars every fucking place, the inflation that we see now is going to be small in comparison to the way things could be in the future. So, you know what I mean? I mean, we may have a situation, see, in the European countries, right? In some of those places, when their young people graduate and they got a college degree and college debt and they can't find work, you know what they do? They go to other countries. We've never really seen that, to my knowledge, in America. The only time we've seen it, and again, to my knowledge, is in the African-American community, when in the 50s and the 60s, we couldn't take the bullshit no more. A lot of musicians would travel to other places and they would stay. A lot of Black Panthers and other activists would leave, go to Cuba, different places they would stay. And of course now, if you've been following the Passport Bro movement, it's been going on for a while. And people have been traveling and meeting women overseas for millennia. But when Black people do it, you know what I mean? We make it hip, and then the people like to attack us, And so a lot of these brothers are starting to make us set roots down overseas. And so, if their success kind of starts to pique the interest of the people that's coming behind them, we may see, like an expat movement in America of African Americans and other Americans leaving the country for greener pastures. And it's not, they're not leaving necessarily to make better money or whatever, because a lot of them are working and getting paid in US dollars. What they're looking for is peace. The men know it's not about the woman. After a while, you come home and it's just your wife. It's just your woman. It's about the peace. So we may see that. As a trend in 2023. Last one, and the one that I'm kind of excited about, is I believe, me, myself, personally, I believe what we're going to see is the governments of the world, particularly the United States, they're going to need a distraction from the bad economy, is they're going to say, okay, we confess, we've been fucking with aliens for a minute. I think that what's going to actually come out is that the United States government, military, have had an ongoing relationship with various alien species. And I think different other governments are going to kind of follow suit. They had that little bullshit hearing in 2021, 2022, I believe, when they were saying, okay, here's a blurry photograph. We're going to try to do something with it. And then when a couple of other representatives gave him some real life, well-known examples about alien spacecraft over top of missile silos and interrupting military exercise. Oh, we never heard about that. It's like, oh man. But with the internet and people filming and stuff. Now let me say something about that. I think it was Elon Musk that had a tweet that basically it was the cutest tweet ever. It was like the resolution or the resolution of the smartphone, right? It went from 0 to million, right, in so many years. the resolution of the photographs taken of UFOs. It was kind of like consistent. So I was thinking, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But have y'all ever looked at the old photographs from the West, the American West, like the cowboys and Indians and so forth? They had those cameras where they had, I think it was the little magnesium or something, poof, and you had to sit real still and everything, take your picture. If you moved, you got blurry. I got somebody in Asia, they got a bullet train. Bullet train, zoom fast. What if our smartphones is to the UFOs like somebody moving slightly to scratch their nose is to a photograph in the 1800s? Our technology might be that much farther behind. But be that as it may, what's interesting is, in this particular report I'm flashing up on the screen, the military talks about, let me see if I can bring it up real quick. The military talks about that some of these UFO situations have been interfering with, airplane flights and military exercises. And a lot of these reports have been from government sources. It's just not, a guy in the cornfield swearing he saw a UFO kind of thing. All right. And then lastly, look out for your family, because as we go into this recession and hopefully not a depression, the recessions, if you look them up, they're a period of reset. So they don't last very long, in America anyway. But the police can be worse than you think. The police can be worse than you think. Of course, we've seen all of these videos of the police, harming black people. And I don't like to show those because it's traumatic. You know what I mean? It's drama. But it seems like when they have film of them attacking white people or people that aren't black, it seems to create a different kind of a buzz. And I think we're going to see more and more of that. Because as the economy kind of goes down and go through its changes, people are going to become more and more desperate. And because when cops get caught on film, there's no immediate repercussions. They're like, well, fuck it. I can get away with it. I'll take the heat for a little while. I get famous amongst my racist comrades, and then it all blow over. Worst case, I'll be transferred to another precinct. Well, I think more of that is going to happen. But see, that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is the corruption that's been covered up by the system. So y'all remember Eric Garner, the brother that was just selling cigarettes to take care of his family, and the cop put him in a chokehold and suffocated him. Apparently, according to these documents that I'm seeing in these reports, he had a history with Eric Garner. Allegedly, with big capital letters, there was some theft involved from Eric Garner. And there's a possibility that murder, which is what it was retaliation. Not only that, that particular officer has, again, this is another big allegedly, this particular officer had multiple complaints about abuse of force and violations of civil rights and things of that nature. There's two particular people that actually, I'm not saying three particular people that actually accused him of sexual misconduct. And what I mean by that, what I mean is, you know how the officer's frisky, right? What this particular officer and some other officers do is they'll make you drop your pants and they'll frisk you in your shorts in public. They won't take you someplace where it's discreet. And then these particular officers, this officer allegedly was touching people's genitals. Like, you can't hide shit in your balls, but I guess he acted like you could. So, I mean, it was sexually, it was bad. So this officer had 3 cases, 3 charges brought up against him prior to him murdering Eric Garner. So, I think the best offense is a good defense or something like that. Ladies, stop having babies, not being married. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't put that on us. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the smart one. Don't do that. A boy needs a man, a productive man, to pattern after. And so, you can't get that by giving yourself to a man. It's just gonna, don't do that. Number two, us as fathers, we really got to be more hands-on with our children. African American men, generally speaking, are very hands-on, particularly my generation. I can only speak for my generation, Generation X. You know what I mean? We're pretty hands-on. If you guys like me, you know who the friends are, generally speaking. You've met some of the parents, kind of a thing. And so that's good, because the children, not only they need to know that you give a fuck about them and you're aware, but implicit in that, checking in and talking and listening to, is also accountability. You know what I mean? It's like, and so you tell them, ain't nothing open late. What does that say? After midnight, ain't nothing open but bars and legs or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like there's certain things that we can do, giving your kids an allowance or whatever, keep them, it's different things that we can do. But the police are definitely a problem. But to me, there's a symptom of the problem about how, America's legacy and slavery, of course, that's where the police in America came from. But not only that, just the lack of concern for poor and working people. Okay, last one. Lack of concern for poor and working people. There's all kinds of protests going on. There's all kinds of strikes going on. Right now, as I record this, New York City nurses are striking for better pay, better working conditions. Now, if there's anything that says essential services and infrastructure, it's the medical profession and nurses in particular. Because when you can't find a doctor, you can find a nurse. And it's like, wait a minute. So we're spending billions sending it over to these fucking Nazis in the Ukraine. We're spending millions in law enforcement when all they're going to do is fucking shoot you if they can get away with it. But we're not paying the doctors and the nurses? Get the fuck out of here. We're not paying the doctors and the nurses. Not only that, not just in America, but all around the world, particularly in other places in the world, there are farmers that are striking. In America, we keep getting that back and forth about the railway workers striking. And then the Biden administration come up with something and cool it out for a minute. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all have experienced the fact that sometimes it's hard to get a doctor, that you got to wait weeks to get a doctor sometimes. Have y'all experienced that? Just look up on YouTube, why are doctors quitting, or something along those lines. It's a lot of stress that doctors, particularly in private practice, are coming under, where they're just giving up the ghost and saying, you know what, I'm just going to, I don't know what they do, but there's several doctors that have made videos about it. In my own personal experience, sometimes it's hard to get a doctor. So a lot of our essential services, right? Just think about it. If the farmers are having problems, right? Black farmers in particular. If the black farmers are having problems, if the farmers are having problems, white farmers, whatever. If the railway workers, that's the people that get the product to the market that we buy to sustain ourselves. Okay? Speaking of infrastructure, here's a story. Aluminum plant. I was going to say aluminium. I've been listening to so much British stuff. An aluminum plant is closing shop temporarily. They said maybe up to a year because of the high cost of energy prices. I mean, I used to see that in 2022, but it was always over in England. It was like the small fish and chips places closed because they couldn't afford the electricity. So now I see it coming here. Not only that, look at these two steel plants that are closing down. It's like, well, goddamn. It's like you sending money over it's not just fucking Ukraine, right? It's not just sending money to fucking Ukraine. It's the fact that you guys continuously prioritize everything but American infrastructure. And it seemed like it don't matter who we vote for. I would have thought a man who supposedly made billions off of building hotels and golf courses and shit, he didn't build a goddamn thing. He didn't build nothing. And if you research a little bit, a lot of the stuff that has his name, he's releasing his name to a project, to a building project. He ain't even really building like that. So if you can't get a real estate developer to build as the president, I mean, what does that say about the people we got to choose from? And you sweating me, Democratic Party, about voting? Get the fuck out of here. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Bring these super predators to heal, all this kind of stuff. Y'all been talking shit for a minute. And y'all scared a lot of us, including me. Oh, you better vote for us or Trump will da-da-da-da. I don't know, man. Y'all get me to the place where it's like, it don't matter. It don't matter. Neither y'all are building, repairing infrastructure. We got bridges where you can actually visibly see the cracks. We got potholes. We got fires every summer. You know what I mean? We got water that ain't fit to drink. And it remains the same whether it's Democrat or Republican. So it's like, you know what I mean? And we give y'all something simple like, okay, reparations. Give the African American community reparations. Oh, we're going to pull a committee out of our ass, a little distraction tactic or something. Or, well, everybody else deserves reparations. Okay. All right, what about strengthening the bills that's supposed to protect African American people from the police? Because, you know what I mean? The first civil rights rules were for us. Oh, it's got to be everybody, people of color and all of the gay groups. So y'all can't handle a simple task like protecting what's supposed to be 13% of the population. Y'all can't do that. All right, well, I don't think we had no more business. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care how many black faces you put up in front of me, I know they're going to do the same thing as the old black faces before them. So it's like, fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all. You know, it's so funny, the language that these tricky people use. They don't say we got to figure out a better way to lie so we can get their vote and give them nothing in return. What they say is, oh, we got to adjust our messaging. They're not going to say, oh, we need to put, some black faces in high places, but they won't really change the policy, give nothing in return. They'll say we need better optics. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. We need a better. Once I saw when those cops, I think the brother was Freddie Gray, when those cops, I think it was 4 of them, couldn't get, murder charges, when you had a black mayor, a black prosecutor, and a black police chief, I think they're all women. I think they're all African American women. I was like, you know what? You know what? I don't know, man. It's, sometimes it's, I can't say what I want to say. I'm just going to say, we all been here before. Maybe not in these bodies, but we all been here before, and we know what we got to do. So these are the trends I think you should be aware of in 2023. I think there's opportunity in all of them, okay? It's just a matter of how you look at it and how you kind of prepare yourself for your family. This is JonathanSoul.com. Jonathan Soul. I mostly talk about news nowadays, although I love reviewing comics. And I got some new comics in the other day from 133art.com, which I review. And but yeah, just keep these things in mind. And just remember that no matter how they scare you about, the next... the Russia ain't did shit to us, but sell us cheap oil. China ain't did shit to us, but build everything for us, like these fucking iPads and shit like that. You know what I mean? China ain't did shit to us, but we supposed to be afraid of it. You supposed to be afraid. Anyway, it's Jonathan Soul, JonathanSoul.com. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Telegram, but I don't do nothing. I just research news. And I'm on Facebook every now and again. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and your family. Peace.